hello. Can y'all hear me? That's right. I'm actually live. Yeah. So, have some explaining to do, like I usually do. And, yes, I am actually live. Which means I got the game to work. Work, you know? So that's great. Yeah. I know it's late, but I didn't want to go, you know, back-to-back nights without either premiering a video or live streaming. Plus, I can't live stream tomorrow night because I'm going out somewhere. So I figured, why not do it now, even though it's late? Hello, T-Bone. The chat is different now. They have the ats next to our usernames like how they are in the comments. Really? Huh. You didn't know that I was going live tonight? Yeah, I wanted to, even though it's after 10 p.m. You can hear me? That's good. Alright, so I released a short a couple hours ago to see if the game is actually working, and it turns out that the problem was OBS, not the actual game itself. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Now I'm going to open up the game here, and I am using Streamlabs for the first time. I have the stream on my phone. It should be working. Here we go. I did some test streams, and they were working fine. So, that's great. On Streamlabs. Okay, I need to... Excuse me for a moment. Okay, it's showing the game. The stream is slightly delayed. I don't know why, but you are going to see the game eventually. Just playing the music. Let me know if the music is too loud. Will I have face cam tonight? No. Because if you read the title of the stream, we're going old school. Meaning, no face cam and no mods whatsoever. Going old school. Hey JWB, how you doing? It's going good. Alright, so you can see the game. Now, I'm on my profile, as you can see. So yeah. I figured out what the problem was. And it's so weird. It turns out the problem was not the game itself. The problem was OBS. For whatever reason, OBS and this game cannot get along. I don't know why. Because, you know, I use OBS for other stuff, you know, not just for this game. And OBS was working fine. But, you know, when it comes to this game, using OBS, they can't get along. I don't know why. It's very strange. So I opened up the game without OBS to see if it would crash. It turns out it didn't crash when OBS wasn't open. It would only crash when OBS is open, if that makes any sense. I know, it's very weird. I don't know why, because, you know, it used to not be like this. See, the first episode of this game was back in October 30th, 2021. So yeah, a little over 4 years ago. Back then I used a software called GeForce Experience. Now it's called NVIDIA, I think. Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, they changed the name. So I got that to work. Okay. Just in case if I can no longer use OBS for this game. And I thought of getting Streamlabs. And I decided to get Streamlabs, and that is what I'm currently using for this stream. So it's working. I did some test streams, and they seem to be working fine. Yeah, the game didn't crash while using Streamlabs. It would only crash while using OBS, so it turns out OBS was the problem. Because, when the game works, it works. It was running smoothly. There wasn't any lag. It would crash when the music starts skipping during the loading screen. But in Euro Truck Simulator 2, it didn't do that at all. I know, right? Isn't that weird? So I'm glad I finally figured out what the problem is. So, yeah. This series is officially back. After what? When was the last episode? About 2 weeks ago? I'm looking. Yep, about 2 weeks ago. So, yeah. Thank y'all for being patient. And I'm really glad that I'm able to live stream this game again. And hopefully this won't ever happen again. So, in this stream I'm going to go old school. Sometimes I have face cam on, sometimes I don't. No face cam tonight. No mods tonight. Yep, we're going old school. And the good thing is, I got my profile right here. And it's working. So look at these stats. Let's take a look at these stats. Level 52, distance driven over 150,000 miles. Can you imagine having a vehicle with that many miles on it? Roads explored, about 44%. Deliveries finished, 322. Garages owned, 1. Trucks owned, 5. Trailers owned, 1. Total game time spent, 251 days and 23 hours. Playing time, that's real time, 294 hours and 31 minutes. World of Trucks profile is connected. Man, I wish I figured out this problem last week, because I would have tried to finish the World of Trucks event that recently expired last Sunday, which was their new Halloween event. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish that event due to this issue that I've had over the past week and a half or so. So yeah, that was like my first time I could not finish a World of Trucks event. But again, the game runs well, so that's good. Yeah. So I'm gonna go old school. No mods. Let's see, yeah. You guys want to know what the game looks like without the mods? Like from the early episodes of this game? Well, here we go. Let's go back from 4 years ago when I started this series. The early episodes. Alright? Just like in Euro Truck Simulator 2. I've never had any mods in that game. Yeah. So, let's say if this game still crashes, let's say I could not figure out what the problem was, then I would have, plan B would have been me live streaming Euro Truck Simulator 2. But, you guys know I don't play that game as much as American Truck Simulator, so, yeah. Alright. So, let me look at, let's look at my career progress. We already looked at this pretty much. The only thing that we haven't looked at, the ratings. Mostly excellent. Look at that. Most common delivery. Halloween treats. And let's see. Most used truck, the Kenworth T680, which is the very first truck that I bought. And total penalties, 20 traffic violations, with over a total of 14,000 penalty fees. Huh. The most penalty type is 10 crashes. What about the headlights violation? Why is that not listed? Oh, no lights, only one? Huh, that doesn't seem right. It's usually a lot more than that. I don't know anymore. Okay. If you're wondering why some of my recent cargoes says not available, well, that's because that was for the mods. One of the mods was, I believe it was Halloween cargo or something like that. Whatever it was. That was, so yeah, that was what I was using. But since I have that mod disabled, that's why it says unavailable. Okay, now I'm going to look at my managers. Okay, now this is a new thing. What happened to my profile picture on in this game? Is that supposed to be an eagle? That's a new change. Mother Trucker is still my company name, and yes, it's been my company name since day one of this game. For me. I started playing this game back in 2019, but back then I didn't have this PC. I had my old laptop, which is now destroyed, if y'all remember that video. Yeah. This game was almost 10 years old. Can you believe that? Next year, February 2nd, will be the 10th anniversary of this game. And you guys know, I will definitely do a live stream on that date. Sorry for not looking at the chat. I wanted to say my talking first before I look at the chat. For those of you that follow the streams of this game, it's usually like that. I'm a legend. Okay. Truck managers. This is the truck that I've been using. It's got the most driven distance, over 45,000 miles. Will I stick with that truck? I don't know. Maybe. Driver's rating 10.0. Okay, there's what I look like. Yep, look at him. He means business. I picked this dude because he's got glasses and a hat. I might look like him in 20 years. In my 40s. Okay. Now, let me look at my garage manager. Take a look at this economy summary. Oh boy. Look at that. Look at all that truck maintenance. Yep. I spent and lost a lot of income of this game. I don't know, when's the last time I had this amount of money in this game? I mean, this is a lot of money in real life, but normally I would have a lot more than this. Okay. But this is a new thing. Is that like an eagle? Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Do they have it on here? Let's look. Where's the radio? I'm not gonna play the radio. Yeah, no soundtracks tonight. We're going old school. Okay. Is there one 98.1? A Beatles radio? Well, dang. It is the 65th anniversary of the Beatles. I don't think I can... Because, you know, it's copyrighted, right? If I live stream copyright music, will my stream get interrupted? Well, I don't think it'll get blocked, but I don't know, maybe certain songs might. But yeah, these are real channels. And I have Sirius XM. There's actually a channel for truckers. I think it's called Truckers. Oh no, it's called Road Dog Trucking Radio. Yeah. That's a real channel. I once played that channel on one of my streams. The only time it's really copyrighted is sometimes when they go to commercial, they'll probably play some copyright music in the background, or when they come back from commercial, they'll play like a copyright song for like 10 seconds or so. But a lot of these are music channels. So, yeah. Okay, anything else I want to look at before I can actually start driving? Again, I apologize for the late stream, because it took a lot of time to figure out what the problem was. And I know last night I didn't premiere a video or live streamed anything because I was trying to figure out and trying to fix this issue. And I didn't want to go back-to-back nights without live streaming or premiering anything. Plus, I can't do it tomorrow night because I'm going to be going somewhere. Okay? I'm going to be going out somewhere. And, yeah. It's been long enough since the last episode of this game. So it's still, my truck still has that Halloween paint job. This is not a mod, it's a DLC. The DLCs work, so I have that. I don't think, yeah. So yeah, I got the DLCs here. Alright, here we go, drive. Now what if the game crashes? That would be crazy. Aha! See? It didn't crash. You didn't hear the music skip either. And I'll show you. Showing you guys that the game is running well. I'm just gonna drive around this building so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I think the quality of this stream is pretty good too. This is my first time using Streamlabs, and I can already say I like it. I like Streamlabs. I think it's better than OBS. OBS is like the old version of Streamlabs. Alright, do I need to upgrade my truck? Might as well. Or service. Yeah, missing mod detected. Refund. The affected vehicle parts are eligible for a refund. You can click confirm order or apply the refund. Exit without any changes if you intend to reinstall the missing mod later. It's fine by me. Alright, might as well change the paint job here. Let's see. Should I just do the default color? Should I just do the default color, which is red? Just do the default color, because I remember the early episodes of this game. I didn't have a truck, right? I was using used trucks. And a lot of those used trucks that I was using, the color was red. So we might as well just use red. Pure red or metallic, dark metallic. The dark metallic costs 4,000 more. I guess we'll just do pure red. The inside, these are not mods. These are part of the DLCs. A lot of my accessories are mods. So yeah, nothing. My truck is empty. Going old school. So I got 2 stickers. My USA and Maple Leaf Canadian sticker. My USA hat. My guitar. My baseball and alien, whatever this is, air conditioner. Yep, these are all from the DLCs. Let's see, I guess I can change some of them. Let's put the pirate head on. For T-Bone, Captain T-Bone. There you are. Baseball. Well, the season's over, so might as well change it to something else. This has quite a lot. I could do the Lone Star Longhorn, since my headquarters are in Texas. I could do that. Or I could just remove them. I could remove all of these mods. Not have anything. We can have some. Oh yeah, the driving academy. I completely forgot about that. I said earlier in the year that I would like to do... that I would like to check out the driving academy. I don't know when I'll do that. That might not be until next year. Could just use the SCS software, or I could just use the ATS, or maybe just don't have. Maybe don't have anything. Maybe don't have anything. Just remove everything. How much if I remove everything? How much money will I get? Let's see. I'll get 2,447, and that's everything. Everything's empty. Alright then. So, okay, let me look at the chat now before I say my next announcement. Sorry guys for not looking at your messages. Wow, I got 6 people watching. How's everyone doing? I know it's late, I know. But better late than nothing, I guess. Right? Better than nothing tonight. T-Bone asks, what about silence and no music? Is that old school or not? I guess technically it is. I don't know if I've ever done an episode with silence. No talking, no music, because the early episodes had commentary. When will I live stream the rest of New Super Mario Bros. Wii? Yeah, I know, I still gotta do that. Probably... well, I guess Saturday. I can't do it tomorrow. But I guess I'll let you know for sure. JWB says, wait, so I should use this streaming software instead of OBS? Yeah, this is better for me. It depends on your PC. Have you been having issues with this game for you? In terms of recording and live streaming using OBS? Because that's what happened to me over the past week and a half or so. Now the game is not crashing anymore for me, so that's great. When will the next Radio American Truck Simulator stream be? I guess I can do that next time. You want to hear some road dog trucking radio? What's going on in the trucking world? Well, it's mainly in USA and Canada, but that's okay. Most of my subscribers are from North America, right? I got some from England, from Europe. You never know who's gonna find you. Oh, JWB, you just got Streamlabs. Nice. Last time I made a video with copyrighted music and it would block the video in Belarus and Russia. Yeah, I think that's normal. I don't know why it only blocks it in those countries. Some of my videos are partially blocked and they would be blocked in Belarus and Russia. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. I'm going to see a relative of mine tomorrow, or you're talking to me, you're asking me that question? No, I'm going out with my parents tomorrow night. Yeah, you want to hear some trucking radio, but hopefully you don't get any copyright claims. The thing is, a lot of my streams somewhat get copyright claims. Oh well, it's so hard to avoid it nowadays. As long as it doesn't get blocked. Or as long as YouTube doesn't give me a strike or, take it down. I guess I can do that next time. Okay. We heard this music enough, so it's working. So that is great. I'm glad. Want to hear my horn? There we go. Default red. It's like Mac from Cars. Yeah. The Pixar movie. Will I see you know or not? What? What do you mean? Okay, so my second announcement is this is what I want to do during this stream. So for those of you that saw the last episode of this game, which was over 2 weeks ago already, that took place towards the end of the Halloween party. Okay. Yeah. First time ever I got to show my favorite game during that party. It was kind of entertaining. And yeah, that was their first time playing this game. And they were damaging my truck like crazy. So that's another reason why I've lost a lot of money. Because when your truck is damaged, you're going to have to pay for the damage. You know? This is not BeamNG Drive. Now that's another game I would like to show them in the future. Yeah. Remember those streams I did back in the summer of that game? So, yeah. Yeah. I also premiered the Halloween Party movie. That video actually got partially blocked due to the copyright music. Oh well, it is what it is. So, what I want to do is the day after that party, okay, for those of you that saw that movie in the last episode of this game, thank you all very much. Hope you found those entertaining in a way. So the day after the party, I went outside and I actually did a video of me talking about that party itself. I did. Me breaking it down, me giving you my thoughts, and all that stuff. And I never released it, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to release it or not. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, hey, maybe I should play that recording during an American Truck Simulator episode as part of my radio. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. And the recording is actually over 2 hours. Yeah. I sat down outside for that long talking about this party and stuff. I was breaking it down into details. So I know I'm a little late to release that or play that recording. But hey, Thanksgiving is not quite here yet. That's what, 1 week from tonight, right? So I guess I'm not super late, because isn't the next holiday after Halloween Thanksgiving and then Christmas? So yeah. So I mainly did that recording for you, T-Bone, the MVP of this channel, and I am mainly going to play that recording for you. Alright? Unfortunately, you're probably going to fall asleep, but that's okay. You can come back to this stream tomorrow after you get home from school so you can listen to what you missed. Alright? So that's what I want to do. Alright? So, which means I'm going to mute my mic, play that recording, and I'll do my best to type in my response in the chat while trucking. I'm probably going to do a long delivery so I can get a lot of income. Alright? So that is the plan for tonight, even though it's almost 11 p.m., but oh well. Better than nothing. Again, I apologize for the late start of the stream, but I'm glad the stream is working. First time ever on Streamlabs. I can already say it's better than OBS. At least for this game it is, because it's working, it's not crashing. Alright. Hey, Roblox gamer. Why is your username a bunch of random numbers and letters? A long time ago, people used to say Domer. What the heck is Domer? But they keep repeating it multiple times. I never heard of that. Alright, guys. So, I'm going to play that recording. I'm going to type in a message in the chat so that you know that this isn't present me. This isn't present me talking. This is past me talking. All right. I gotta find the file first. Yeah, it's a long recording. I talked for over... it's on a different external hard drive, so bear with me for a second. That recording is actually over 2 hours, which means this stream's gonna end. It's gonna end after 1 a.m. Oh well. I'm hoping not to fall asleep while trucking. Remember, that's happened before. That has happened before. But I can't really live stream tomorrow night because I'm going to be going out and I don't know what time I'll be back. If I, it's probably going to be late. So, it's better if I do it now, Alright, I got it. Alright. I'm glad we're back in business for this series, because you guys know that this is my #1 favorite game. Okay, it's on the other one. Alright, I found it. Wonderful. Yep, this is almost 2.5 hours of me talking. Mainly about the Halloween party. Alright. Did I get any copyright claims on the last episode? Since I played last year's Halloween party? I can check real quick. I think I did. I'm gonna look right now. The answer is... yes. Oh, it was only one. Only one copyright claim. Okay, well, better than 2 or 3 or 4. Alright. So I'm going to mute my mic and play this recording of me talking about the Halloween party. And kind of surprised that that movie got about 150 views. That's a lot for over 4 hours. I didn't thought it would get that many views that fast. Speaking of that, the same thing happened. The video from last week of me getting some Burger King food, that video has 270 views. 11 likes? I mean, that's unusual for me. That's crazy. I guess somehow my video got recommended. Or maybe people want to search up Burger King and my video popped up on the list or something. I don't know. You just never know. And a lot of my shorts, they get hundreds of views. I guess it's because it's a short. That's the thing now with YouTube, is the shorts. So, yeah. Alright. 6 people watching. Which copyright claim was it? The timestamp? I don't know why do you want to know that? I guess only I can look at it. Well, right now that's not important, so that was the past. Don't worry about the copyright claims, all right? Only I should be worried about that. All right. Hopefully I won't fall asleep. The song? I saw what it was. Then the weird thing is you can play a copyright song on a short as long as it's not over a minute. Isn't that weird? YouTube can let you play a copyright song on a short as long as that short is a minute or under. Okay, where the heck is it? I can't even find it anymore. Oh, here it is. The song is called Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry. Alright. Alright, guys. That's it for my announcement. Now you're about to listen to me from October 26th. Me talking about the Halloween party while I do a long delivery. Alright? Man, I really wish I can finish the that World of Trucks event of that new Halloween event. Oh well. Most likely the next one will be their Christmas event, unless if somehow Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, comes out sooner. I do predict that it'll come out during the winter season. I guess in January is my guess. But who knows? It might be before Christmas, which I'm kind of hoping it'll be before Christmas. Yeah. By the way, I did not look at any of the news that I missed. I'm gonna have to do that next time. I didn't want to do that tonight because obviously I started the stream really late. Okay, here we go. Enjoy this marathon, or this slight marathon of a delivery. Alright, I'm about to play the recording right now. Past Me. Alright. Yes, I am outside making this video on my laptop. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to make this public or unlisted, but I guess right now it'll be unlisted. I just want to talk more about this party, more into details. Okay. Meaning I'll keep this as a separate video from the actual Halloween party movie video. Alright? This is for the people that are looking, or that were looking forward to this party. Mainly for you, T-Bone St. Louis, the MVP of the channel. Alright? I'm outside because I figured it would be better for me to do this video outside than inside the house. The house is a mess because the party ended last night. It's Sunday afternoon, October 26th. All right, and it's a pretty nice day today. So, I want to talk more about this party that just happened. All right. I don't know where to begin because I did not, make a list I did not make a list of things to talk about in a certain order, kind of like what I did in my sports talk channel, for those of you that actually follow that channel. So, I gotta be honest, this party, it came way too fast, meaning I wasn't ready. And unfortunately for me, the same thing happened. I wasn't ready. I thought I would be. It turns out I wasn't. But I will say this. Last year's, in terms of me getting ready, yeah, that was worse. Last year's was worse for me in terms of getting ready. This year's, it's not as bad in terms of getting ready. Like, that's my problem. I do things when it's too late, or I do things where I should have done it a while ago, meaning that means I was lazy. I'll admit that. I was lazy. A lot of times when I'm not working, I'm just on my computer. And I think a lot of people are like that too. When they're not working, they don't feel like doing any housework. They just want to do their own thing. I get that. But at some point, you're going to have to do housework. And sometimes housework is too much because you're doing it all in one day instead of a little bit every day. You're doing all of it in one day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I was hoping that I would be ready for this party, but it turns out I wasn't. But it wasn't as bad as last year's. Last year's was a lot worse for me. But yeah, this party came way too fast. I wish the party was not for another week, so I can kind of just relax for a week and then, oh yeah, I'll be ready for real. But no. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's been a whole year already since last year's. Crazy, right? It just doesn't seem right. Anyways, the bottom line is, I'm glad that I got my costume. That was the most important thing that I wanted to have. I ordered a lot of stuff online for this party, and I also bought a lot of things at, physically at a store, like the party store, for example. Yeah, I spend a lot of money, as well as buying quite a lot of drinks. I did that the day of the party, and I also did that like about an hour and a half before the party started. I should have done that the night before, but I didn't. When I say the night before, I'm talking about the night before the party, so Friday night. Okay? Yeah. See, this is one of my problems in life, you know. But I'm sure the older I get, I'll improve on that, if that, you know, if that makes any sense, you know. Listen, this party, it's, you know, it's a big party. It's also a crazy party. We've had this party for a lot of years. The first year we've had this party was back in 2009. Yeah. And here we are, 16 years later. I was 8 years old in 2009. Now I'm 24. Can you believe that? I know. Same house. I've been living in this house for the past 20 years, 2005. Yeah. And the thing about this party, it's a lot of work. In terms of decorating. And my mom, she did most of the decorating. I have to give her credit, you know. I want to thank my mom for putting a lot of work into this party. I did, if you're wondering, did I do any of the work? Yeah, I did some of the work. But she did most of it. Basically, I did the easy part and she did the hard part. What I mean by that is, the easy part for me was the indoor decorations. And the hard part for her is the outdoor decorations. The lights. You know, it's a lot of lights. So, yeah, it's a lot of work. And again, I wish this party was not for another week, so that we can enjoy looking at the decorations and relax for about a couple of days or so until the big party. I feel like we just put up these decorations not too long ago, and then the party already happened. Now, the party was a little bit early this year. It was on the 25th. It's usually on the last Saturday of October, and in this case, it was the 25th. Now, next year's will be on the 24th instead of the 31st, because the 31st is actual Halloween. We can't have it on Halloween night, the 31st, because that's, you know, that's trick-or-treating night, okay? A lot of kids come to this party. It's family-friendly, okay? So next year's will be even earlier, the 24th. But the year after that, 2027, it will be on October the 30th, the night before Halloween night, you know? So, yeah. Also, the past 2 years, last year and the year before, one of our neighbors also had their party the same night as this Halloween party at this house. Yeah, it was like two parties happening at the same time. It happened last year, the year before. Both parties were happening at the same time. However, our neighbor didn't have their party on the same night as this party. I don't know if they're going to have theirs. I don't know if they already had theirs the week before, or if they're going to have theirs on Friday, October 31st, or somehow Saturday, November the 1st. So, yeah. Like I said, it's a lot of work. Yeah, like I said, I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on this party. Mainly because I wanted to have fun. Sometimes you have to spend a lot of money in order to have fun, you know? So, yeah. Anyways, I guess we'll get into the actual party itself. Alright? How do I start this? How do I begin this here? Yeah, again, I wasn't ready. I really wish, as much as I like this party, I wish it was the following week. And you know what? It could have happened the following week, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So, oh, butterfly. Unfortunately, it was raining. It was raining throughout the day, okay, before the party. Now, the party started at 7 p.m. Some people came at a little after 6 p.m., mainly my friends, okay? Yeah, like the shirt that I'm wearing, Halloween shirt. Yeah. It was raining a lot throughout the day, and the rain eventually stopped, but here's the thing, it was still wet. It was wet outside, you know, like the sun never came out. At least it didn't rain. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't rain. It didn't rain during the party, but throughout the day, it rained a lot. And after the rain finally stopped, the sun never came out. It was still wet. You know, we have 3 outdoor tables and chairs, and they got wet. So I had to clean the tables by wiping off the water, you know. It would have been cool if we had like a retractable roof, like a sports stadium, you know. That would have been really cool, but you know, that's impossible. So, alright, now let's get into the actual party. So, the first one that came is an old friend of mine named Dylan. Dylan was wearing all black. He has like the same kind of haircut as me. Yeah, that guy. He was one of my original friends. He used to live across the street. He has a fraternal twin named Preston, but he didn't come. He had work that night. I think he had work that night. But yeah, they used to live across the street at their grandparents' house. We met like 15 years ago. And yeah, we hung out a lot. And then their grandmother passed away in January of 2020. And then 2 years later, their grandfather moved out of that house. So it's kind of crazy how things change. Basically, I haven't seen Dylan and Preston since the summer of 2021. So I finally got to see Dylan over 4 years later, but not Preston. It's kind of funny because earlier in the summer, I released some unreleased outdoor videos, and they were in some of them. Yeah, they were in some of them, so that was great. I don't know if they... I didn't mention that to them, so I don't know if they saw those or not. But Dylan does remember my YouTube channel name. And he actually remembered some of the old videos that we were in as kids, man. It's crazy. And he said that he would like to play some Mario Party, like old time's sake. And I'm like, yes, we should do that. We need to hang out on a regular day. Like, you know, like old times. That would be cool. So, he came first, and he actually came before I got back from the store, Walmart, drinks, yeah. The second person that came was my former French teacher, Monsieur Leclerc. Yes, he was my French teacher 11 years ago in middle school. Yeah. And he's like the coolest teacher ever. He's very nice, he's very funny, and he's entertaining. You know, he's great. He puts a smile on my face, you know. I think it's just the way he talks. You know, sometimes we do Facebook voice messages where you just talk out what you want to say instead of typing it all out, you know. And every time I hear his voice, it puts a smile on my face. I think it's because of his accent, but he's awesome. That guy is awesome. Yeah, it's all because I found his Facebook in 2021. So I'm glad we're friends on there. Unfortunately, he didn't stay very long. Unlike last year's, he didn't stay very long because he had like 2 other parties to go to. I'm like, wow. But it was great to see him. Yeah, and I didn't get to see him since last year's party. Halloween party. And I just can't believe it's been a whole year already. We were going to try and meet up earlier in the summer, but we couldn't. Like, whenever he's available, I wasn't available. And whenever I was available, he wasn't available. So we couldn't do it. However, we're going to try and meet up for the holiday season. So that'll be cool. And it won't be hot, so I don't know. He's probably going to show me around. Maybe I'll go to his house. I don't know. Like, the original plan was we were going to meet up in Opelousas for horse racing at Evangeline Downs Casino. But their season's over. The season runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So basically, the summer. Yeah. But he had a cool costume. So
Sorry, my microphone might be a little too loud because of the wind. My apologies. He had a great costume. Dressed up as like a 1980s DJ with an inflatable telephone. So, I think the third person that came after him was Hamza. Yes. Hamza hasn't been to this party since 2021. The reason why he didn't come to 2022, 23, and 24 was because I didn't invite him. With all due respect, I did not invite him. And the reason why I didn't invite him was because he's not really into Halloween, you know. And I get it, some people are not into it, and I just decided not to invite him. But I think I did invite him. I did invite him to this year's, and I'm glad I did, because quite a bit of my friends came to this year's party, unlike last year's. Last year's, it was just Landon and Logan. You know, those two big guys that look alike. This year's, Dylan came, Hamza came, Landon and Logan came, even though they were late. Brad came, and Dylan came. So yeah, a pretty big group of friends. My longtime friends, you know. So, me, Hamza, Landon, and Logan, we all dressed up as baseball umpires for the World Series. Yeah, we did that. It was my idea. I dressed up as a baseball umpire in 2020 and 2022. In 2020, I had the mask on, the COVID mask, just like the coaches and the umpires as well, you know. So I wanted to do that because it's been a couple of years, and I'm glad we did. 4 people did it. You know, that's like a 4-man crew. Landon and Logan, they basically made a last-second decision to wear something else. And I was like, no, I already bought the stuff, you know? Like, I thought we all agreed to do that. I wish you told me that earlier in advance, with all due respect, you know? And Logan said, this is by text messaging. And he said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for buying the outfits. And I was, yeah. But basically, when they came, they came wearing Mario and Luigi costumes. And when I saw them wearing those, I was like, wow, that looks really cool. That looked really cool. I guess they wanted to do it for the 40th anniversary. So then we all went to my bedroom. I was like, are you sure about this? Should y'all just stick to your Mario and Luigi costumes? Even though I wanted them to be the umpires with me and Hamza, and they said, "Oh, yeah, we can change into the umpire outfits, because we're gonna be wearing these Mario and Luigi costumes on Sunday at a some type of event at their college campus." And I was like, okay, that's cool. So maybe next year they can wear those costumes. Next year's party, they can wear those those costumes. I hope they do. Because, you know, the thing about me, I don't want to wear the same thing, the same costume every year. Although last year and the year before I was a pro wrestling referee, but it wasn't the same shirt, okay? And plus, last year's and the year before were two of the hottest years of the history of this party. Yeah. And, unfortunately, it had to rain, man. It had to rain. We'd rather have it very hot and no rain, or very cold and no rain. If it was very cold, then I probably would have worn an actual full costume. Because when you wear a full costume, you can get hot. You can get hot in that costume pretty quick. And I got pretty hot in my umpire outfit. It was about 70 degrees. Cloudy, overcast, but it was wet, you know. Let me get a drink of water here. Excuse me. Okay. So, now the party began at 7, and usually, like at between 6:30 to 7. All right. Sorry about that. My mom came out. I didn't want her to hear what I was saying. Okay. Yeah, okay, as I was saying, but usually between 6:30 to 7, quite a few people would come early. This year's was not the case. I'm talking about mainly my mom's friends. Almost none of them came early. A lot of people came late. I don't know if it's because of the weather, the traffic, or they just weren't ready in time. Now the thing is, LSU football was on the same night as the party, and they were playing in Tiger Stadium, okay, Baton Rouge, the capital city, all right? They were playing against Texas A&M, a rematch from last year's Halloween party. The game was close in the first half. The second half, A&M took over. Yeah. Turns out the game wasn't even close. So that was the game we had on, as well as Game 2 of the World Series. I really wish... I said this on my Sports Talk channel. I really wish the Seattle Mariners were in it, because they've never gone into the World Series. Ever. They just suffered a heartbreaking Game 7 loss in the American League Championship Series. They could have won that. Anyways, back to the Halloween party story. It's a shame it had to rain on this date. At least it didn't rain during the actual party. And it actually did that. 10 years ago, in 2015, I remember it was actually raining during the party. And I remember because LSU football was on, and they were playing on a sloppy field. They were playing against Western Kentucky that night. So I gotta say, 2015 was the worst edition of the Halloween party. So 10 years ago, I was 14. Yeah. let's talk about the people that didn't come. Okay? If y'all saw last year's Halloween party movie, it was to me, it was a great movie, a great party. I mean, I recorded so much, you know. Yeah, it turned out well. It got a lot of views too. I think it's at over 200 for a video that's nearly 3.5 hours. I mainly recorded from my 2 cameras. The main camera, which is the digital camera, the high quality camera, and the second camera was the GoPro camera. Alright. Unfortunately, I didn't record as much from those 2 cameras. Now, I actually bought another GoPro camera, and the reason why I did that was because the other GoPro that I had didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work was because water got into the battery and the SD card, the micro SD card. And the reason why that happened was because, you know, the case that you open to take the battery and the micro SD card out, well, part of that broke, and I tried to super glue it together, and it was really hard. So I decided to just use double-sided sticky tape, or whatever you call it. And I thought I put it together good enough, and that didn't work. Somehow water still got in, and it caused the GoPro to shut off. And the video, what was the name of it? Let me look that up. It was the second swimming party this year. Let me find the name of that video. Okay, let's see. I'm scrolling down. It was a video called Super Mario Soundtracks at the Pool. Okay, so those were some clips that I put together with Super Mario soundtracks in the background. And majority of that video was from this year's swimming party. And I really wanted to use my GoPro camera because it's waterproof, right? And I couldn't because it decided not to work. So that was a shame. So yeah, I didn't get to record as much from those 2 cameras, but I mainly recorded from, you know, I always recorded the big room, okay? And I also recorded the other room where a lot of the kids hang out in there, you know, next to the dining room. Remember that room? That's the room you don't see very much. But a lot of them go in there. And I decided to put my gaming PC in that room. Okay? Yeah. I decided to do that. Because years ago, some of the kids, they go into my bedroom and they make a big mess. So I made sure, recent years, I made sure they don't go in there anymore. And I figured it would be cool to put my gaming PC in that little living room next to the dining room. And I did that because I wanted to show them my favorite game, which is American Truck Simulator. Because every year they have this Halloween event, so I was showing them that. Yeah, I finally got to show some of them my favorite game. That was something that I had in mind. That was something that I planned out. Okay. And it worked out. I'll talk about that later. I want to get back into the subject, the people that didn't come. I'm just gonna say this straight up. Last year's party was better. It was. Last year's party was a lot better. Even though last year's, most of my friends didn't come. But I had more fun last year's than this year's. I did. No offense to my friends. It was great to see them. But in my opinion, last year's party was better. Which means last year's Halloween party movie was better than this year's Halloween party movie. And why do I say that? Because not only it rained a lot throughout the day, but there was quite a bit of people that didn't come to this year's party, meaning they were there last year's. So let's talk about those people. Okay, I'm just gonna name this not in any particular order. So who didn't come? So if you if you are familiar with people's faces from last year's Halloween party movie. Alright. So the people who didn't come. Last year's, there was a guy, his name is Andrew, okay? I'm actually friends with the guy on Facebook. And here's the thing. You know how you can do invitations on Facebook? And you get this, you get to invite the list of, you get to invite, anyone you want. So I invited him because every year, I think, he goes to this party like every year. And he said, it says that he was going. Okay, so when you get invited to a Facebook event, you have the options to say going, maybe, or not going. Okay? But he put that he was going, but he didn't come. His name is Andrew. He was the guy that was... He was actually sitting where I'm sitting, watching last year's LSU football game. He had like a baseball bat. He dressed up as I think he dressed up as one of the Walking Dead characters. I don't know the name because I've never got into that show, but yeah, I would see him at this party every year. I was hoping to see him, but he wasn't there. He wasn't there, even though he said that he was going. So yeah, I guess something must have happened. Who else didn't come? The bald-headed guy who dressed up as one of the Star Wars characters. He was sitting outside eating, and he told me that his son had autism, and he's from Italy. So I don't know if he went back to Italy, but he didn't come. He's a nice guy. Who else didn't come? Trying to remember, because last year a lot more people came. Some of my father's friends that were there last year's party, none of them came this year's. None of them came. was hoping to see some of them, but see, I'm familiar with faces. I'm not really familiar with their names. Oh yeah, the bald-headed guy. His name is Mauricio or Maury. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, there was quite a bit of people that didn't come. Who else didn't come? I'm trying to remember. I have 3 older half-brothers. And 2 of them are twins. One of them was supposed to come, but last second he couldn't make it. They live in North Louisiana. Yeah, they've been very busy lately. But my oldest brother, he would usually come because he lives in the same city, and he's usually sitting at the bar, the bartender. We actually celebrated his birthday 2 days before the party. He came late, and he told me a story on why he came late. He basically, somehow he got body wash on his eyes, so that was a pain in the ass for him. Yeah. Who else didn't come? Okay, I guess I'll get into... Those were the adults. Now I'll get into the children, some of the children that didn't come. Alright? Alright, T-Bone, you want to know? I guess I'll tell you this. If you're... Yeah. I'm just going to tell you straight up. Ella, the girl that asked me about my GoPro camera last year, she didn't come. She did not come. I know you were hoping that I would see her, but she wasn't there. Her father was not there as well. I was actually at her father's house back in the spring, but she wasn't there. Her parents are divorced. Her parents are separated. So that's the thing. You know, you basically have 2 different families when your parents are separated, you know. Yeah, she didn't come. So I know you're disappointed to hear that. Yeah, last year she was there. And it's crazy because in 2020, because I rewatched the videos, the footages of what I took, she was there too, and she was a lot younger and smaller. Yeah, that was the same girl. Crazy. So yeah, they didn't come. Cassie, remember her? She was like the loud kid that wanted to fight everyone. She almost pushed me in the pool at last year's party. She didn't come as well. I was actually hoping to see her. Yeah, she didn't come. I saw her earlier this year though, and she wasn't at the swimming party. I was hoping to see her for that as well. I don't know if she's ever gone swimming at this pool. She wasn't there. She has a little sister named Sophia. She wasn't there either. I remember Sophia. Last year's party, she was wrestling a giant teddy bear, and there was another little girl with her. Her name is Leilani. She wasn't there as well. Yeah, I think they live kind of far away. I don't think they wanted to drive I don't know if it was raining where they were living, or maybe they just... The thing is, it was still wet. Some people don't want to walk, you know, wearing their fancy shoes out in the wet, you know. I get it. I understand that. Yeah. So, I forgot to say this. The children that came, okay, Jade and Mason, her little brother Mason, they came. Remember, I was at Mason's birthday party earlier this year? Yeah, they came. Micah came. She was the girl with the glasses that I was chasing at the trampoline place. I call her the Sunny D girl because she always takes a lot of my Sunny D. Sherwin came. I don't know if you guys remember what he looked like, but he was at the New Year's Eve party, and he's the guy that can't talk. He's deaf. He actually missed last year's party, but he came to this year's. He dressed up as a tooth. The girl that dressed up as Moana, I think her name is Christina, she was there. She came. And I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. No, I think that's it. So, I think you know what that means. Yep. The biggest star of the Halloween Party movie from last year, Eiley, she didn't come, and that was a big disappointment for me. The thing, but her father and her stepmom came, so you know, because you know, I invited the father on the Facebook invitation, and he said that he was going. So then I'm like, oh, okay, that means maybe Eiley's coming. No, she wasn't there. I asked her father what happened to Eiley, and he said, oh, she's at her grandmother's house for the weekend. So I was like, okay. So I don't even know if Eiley knew about this party or not, or maybe she did, but she already had plans that night. Because, you know, 2 years ago, she dressed up as a black cat. Last year, she dressed up as a wizard. And I was really hoping to see her, what she would wear. And, you know, I saw her at at that sushi restaurant. You know, that video called A Conversation with Eiley and Mason. And at the time, I didn't see her for 9 months. Yeah, because she missed the first swimming party. But she came for the second party. The second swimming party in September. So I said to myself, you know, when Eiley didn't come to the first swimming party, I was really disappointed because she missed last year's swimming, 2024. You know, we had like the Summer Olympics party. She wasn't there. We had like a regular night swimming. She also wasn't there from last year's. So finally, she came back for swimming. in September of this year. So about 2 years. So I said to myself, I'd rather have Eiley missing the Halloween party instead of missing swimming. And it turns out that became true. She missed the Halloween party, but she came for swimming. And I say that because she was at last year's Halloween party and the year before. Last year's, she missed swimming, you know? So, hey, I'd love to see her for both events, you know? So yeah, when she didn't come, I was disappointed. Not as disappointed as when she missed swimming. But again, to me, she's like the MVP of the parties. She's like the biggest star. I really like her. She is funny, and she is entertaining. She is straight up entertaining. Kind of like, same with my former French teacher, Mr. Leclerc. He is also entertaining. Yeah, him and her, they put a smile on my face. I really like them, you know. I wish she was there because I really wanted to show her my favorite game, American Truck Simulator. I was hoping that she would come to see that. That's why I moved my gaming PC in that room, you know. Yeah. So, I think that's all I can think of in terms of the people that did come and didn't come. Okay, the familiar faces. But after having said all that, again, last year's party was better. Not only because a lot more people came, but it wasn't wet outside. It was really hot, but we'd rather have it very hot and, you know, no wet than, you know, rain, you know. So the thing about last year's party, this house is not very big, but it's not very small. I don't know if it's it's hard to explain. I don't know if it's an average-sized house. There's 3 bathrooms, 2 of them with a bathtub. I mentioned that Dylan and Preston, they used to live across the street. I went to their grandparents' house a bunch of times. Their house is a lot smaller. Yeah. And the thing about last year's party, a lot more people came, and it just makes the house crowded, you know. This year's, it was more easier to get through by the people, if that makes any sense, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I really wish Eiley came, not only because I can show her my favorite game, but I wanted to show her the video on what she did last time she was here, which was my laptop getting destroyed. And that's what I did last year's Halloween party. I showed her and Mason the keyboard destruction video from December of 2023. Yeah. Oh, Caden. Yeah. Him, his parents, his grandmother, they don't come to this party. They're just not into Halloween. So, that's just them. Yeah. But they always come for swimming, as well as the holidays. But the party, quite a lot of people still came. The party went well, but again, last year's was a lot better. So, sorry to disappoint you guys, but that's the reality. Sometimes it's like that. We just can't. It's one of those situations where you wish it did not rain on this particular date. Now, here's the thing. You know, you can't control the weather. The night before the party, Friday night, it wasn't raining. It wasn't raining at all. It was perfect, clear. But, you know, we can't really make that change. We can't really just change the date of the party that soon, you know? Now, after the party, I stayed up all night. That's usually what I do. After the party, I stayed up all night. And it was raining very early in the morning. And I woke up in the afternoon. Came out here, set up this laptop to do this talk. And let me check how much storage I have left. Okay, not much left, but that's okay. Yeah, right now, it's sunny and clear. It's not wet anymore. But obviously we can't have this party on Sunday night because that's a school night, a work night. People wake up early on Monday morning, you know? So, yeah, and Friday is Halloween night. We can't have it on that night because that's, you know, trick-or-treating. Do a lot of people ring the doorbell on Halloween night? No, not really. Although some years, quite a lot of times, but some years, hardly any at all. It's kind of weird. You just never know how many people will come ringing your doorbell. Yeah. Our only other option, I guess, would have been Saturday, November the 1st, the night after Halloween. But we've never had it on November the 1st. The latest date we've ever had it was on the 30th of October. It was in 2021. The Halloween party was on October the 30th. All right. So. But here's the thing, I really didn't want to have it on November the 1st because of my costume, baseball umpire. Because you know how the World Series is usually during the last week of October, okay? Well, November the 1st would have been Game 7 of the World Series. And I'm recording this video on Sunday, October 26th, so I don't know if Game 7 was a thing or not this year's. But I'm confident that this World Series will not have a Game 7, okay? And, you know, I wanted to dress up as the home plate umpire. I had, you know, the ball bags on the sides. You can put a lot of stuff in there. I put my cell phone in there. Instead of just carrying it with my hand, I just put that in my pocket or in the bag, you know? So, yeah. I like our costumes, me and my friends. The thing is, I forgot to mention this, yeah, Landon and Logan, they came here with their Super Mario costumes, and they looked really good. They looked really good in those costumes. So, and I told them to wear dark gray pants and black shoes because that's what umpires wear, and they didn't. So they were wearing their jeans with the umpire jacket. So they look kind of weird with that outfit, but with their Super Mario costumes, they look really silly. So I think they should wear those to next year's party. If that's up to them, you know. So, but again, I know this video is already over an hour. Again, I wasn't ready for this party. I wish this party was like a week later, but oh well. But yeah, I mean, we probably could have had this party on Saturday, November the 1st, but again, you know, I wanted to be the baseball umpire, and November the 1st would have been Game 7, but I'm confident that this World Series will not end in 7 games. If it does, I'll be surprised. Because you know, if we were to have this party on November the 1st, and the World Series would have ended, let's say the World Series ended before November the 1st, and it's like, well, our costumes, we're just wearing these. You know, it's kind of weird wearing these costumes when there is no World Series on. But here's the thing, guys. I'm a weird guy, I know. After last year's party, I already decided what I would wear for this year's party, and that was, you know, the baseball umpire. And I'm just going to say this. I've already decided what I'll be wearing to next year's Halloween party. And I'll tell you right now, next year, I'm going to dress up as an old school pro wrestling referee. I'm talking about the blue button-down collared shirt with the black bow tie from the old days. Boxing officials would dress up like that, and the black pants and the shoes. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna wear. That's what I'm going to wear next year's party. I've already decided. Because I want to wear. I know I already dressed up as a referee last year and the year before pro wrestling, but it wasn't the same shirt. This is old school. This button-down collared blue shirt with the black bow tie. That's what they wore in the old days. I'm going to be wearing that. And yes, remember last year's? My championship title belt? I still have that. I didn't bring it out to this year's party. I actually completely forgot about it. But I still have it. It's under the guest room's bed. It's still in the box. So, although I probably, if Eiley was there, I probably would have brought that out. Yeah, her not being there was a big thing, because to me, she's like the biggest star of last year's and the year before. Yeah. So, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I already decided what I'll be wearing to next year's party. So, it's just such a damn shame that it had to rain. I bet you, if it had not rained at all, a lot more people would have come. I think a lot more people would have come if it didn't rain that date. So let's say we're in this situation again next year. Next year's Halloween party will be on Saturday, October 24th. But let's say it's going to rain a lot on that date. And let's say it's going to be very bad. Then maybe we should push that back to Friday, October the 30th of next year. I'm just going to say this. In 2019, the Halloween party was on a Friday night, and I'll tell you why. The only time the Halloween party was on a Friday night, 2019. Why was it on a Friday night instead of Saturday night? Well, it wasn't because of the weather. It was because because you know, the day after the Halloween party, we usually like to just relax and you know, kind of clean up and stuff. Well, Sunday, 2 days after the 2019 Halloween party, me and my parents, we went to Houston. Why did we went to Houston? And no, it wasn't because of the World Series. Yes, the Houston Astros were in the World Series in 2019. But that weekend, they were not playing in Houston. They were playing at D.C., Washington Nationals ballpark, okay? But we went to Houston because of a concert. We went to see a concert. The band is called Tool. My favorite active band. Really great. They play a lot of heavy stuff. So, yeah, their closest concert to where I live is Houston. They didn't come to New Orleans, which is kind of surprising. You know, if they were to come to New Orleans, then yeah, I guess I don't know if we would still have that party on Friday night or not. But Houston is much farther away than New Orleans. New Orleans is about an hour and 15 minutes. Houston is about 4 hours, or at least 4 hours. You know, yeah, that we didn't want to. Because, you know, we always stay up late during this party, and, you know, we didn't want to leave to go on a trip the next date, you know. We wanted to relax for a bit and settle down, pack our stuff, make sure our stuff is packed up and ready to go, and then Sunday we left to go to Houston. So that's why the 2019 Halloween party was on a Friday night that year. But I was sort of thinking about this. Maybe the Halloween party should be on a Friday night from now on, because my friend, or Monsieur Leclerc, my former French teacher, he said that he had 2 other parties to go to. Okay? A lot of parties are on Saturdays. Saturday is always the biggest day of the week for big events, right? Maybe we should have it on a Friday night permanently. And if that's the case, then it can be on Friday, October the 30th. And guess what? If we do have it on a Friday night next year, I think there's a better chance that Eiley will come, because I think she mainly lives with her father and her stepmom, and she told me at the sushi restaurant that her stepmom works at her school's cafeteria, okay? So I'm wondering, I don't know if she rides the school bus or if one of them drops her off or picks her up at her school or not. But her father told me that she was at her grandmother's house for the weekend, so that, she was probably meaning, Saturday and Sunday. But if we have this party on Friday night, then I think there was a better chance that she would have come to that. Yeah, we might have to talk about that. Me and my parents we might have to talk about that next year. Honestly, I think that would be better. Yeah, and in 2019, Halloween party was on Friday night. A lot of people still came. It wasn't raining. Yeah, there's a website called Weather Underground where you can check out the history, you can check out the weather from the past. And that's what I did. Like, because I remember the date, 2015, October 24th, Halloween party. I checked the weather and it was raining. It was raining that date on, you know, the website. So yeah, that's really cool. You can look up the weather from the past. So that's what I did at the history of this party. Recent years, it was warm. 2021, it was about 55 degrees, and that was the same year my friend Alec, the tall, skinny guy with the glasses, he jumped in the swimming pool. And you know what? I'm glad he did that, because I recorded it on video. And I really wish he came to this party, just so that he can do that again. Yeah, that was his last appearance. That was Alec's last appearance at this Halloween party. 2021. The reason why he didn't come to the recent years is because he's out of town for college. He goes to Virginia Tech College, and that's very far away. My other friends, most of them, they went to LSU. If Alec were to go to LSU, yeah, most likely he would have come. But yeah, I really wish he would have come, because I really wish he could do that again. Him jumping in the pool in front of everyone. And you know what? I was sort of thinking to doing that last year's. Especially last year's, because last year's was the warmest edition of the Halloween party. It was like in the mid-80s, I think. Yeah, I could have jumped in. I really wish I did, though. And this year's, I also wanted to, but the water got cold because of all the rain we got. So, yeah. But this is Alec's, I think this is Alec's final year in college. So I don't know if he's going to permanently live up there. Which, if I have to guess, I think he will. But he said that he'll be back. He's coming back in town for Thanksgiving, which is kind of unusual because he usually waits until the Christmas holidays. So I don't know if he's gonna be in town only for Thanksgiving week, or if he's gonna be in town for until the New Year's. I don't know. I'll have to call him about that. But every time he's back in town, we usually try to hang out. And I also wished he was at the swimming party. Yeah, it's funny because like 2 years ago in 2023, he actually stayed here throughout the summer. Okay? But last year's and this year's, he didn't stay very long. He had to go back. He had to go back to Virginia, you know? So he missed the swimming parties, unfortunately. But yeah, this party, it went pretty good, but not as great as last year's. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. But maybe we should have it on Friday night, permanently. So, what else is there to say here? Yeah, again, I moved my gaming PC into that room. I mainly wanted to show them American Truck Simulator. And I wasn't able to do that until after 10 o'clock. I know I should have done that sooner, but I didn't. The thing about me is, you know, because I live here, I'm usually back and forth. I try not to stay in one spot the entire time during this party. Because, you know, you got people inside, you got people in the living room, you got people in the kitchen, you got people in the other room, you got people outside, you know. Yeah. Anyways, so I got to show Mason American Truck Simulator. And it didn't go well. It didn't go well. His older sister, Jade, was playing, and she was wearing the ghost face. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, I got to show them. I'm glad I was able to finally show them my favorite game, but I was hoping to show Micah, you know, the girl with the glasses that I was chasing at the trampoline place. She had to leave, so I was hoping to show that to her, and of course, Eiley, she wasn't there. So maybe maybe we can have a Christmas get-together. I don't know. I hope we can. So usually Hamza, Landon, and Logan, they actually stayed until midnight. They did. They actually stayed until midnight. And usually Landon and Logan are like the last ones to leave. But no, not this year. This year? Oh my gosh. Oh. Eiley's father and her stepmom, as well as 2 other people, they all stayed until 1 a.m. I was like, wow. It's like, are they going to spend the night here or something? They stayed until 1 a.m. Yeah. So, they were the last ones to leave, and then, you know, I didn't eat much. Yeah, you know what? There's usually a lot of food at this party, but this year's, because, you know, the pool table always gets covered up, right? For, the party. That's where we put food on it. Well, this year's, there wasn't as much food. You know why? Because not as many people came. Yeah. So, but that's fine. It is what it is. I have my, you know, my own food in the freezer. I just made a frozen pizza, you know. So, yeah. And I stayed up all night. I did the aftermath video. I wanted to rewatch some of the footages that I took. Yeah. So yeah, it's a shame that it had to rain and, you know, quite a bit of people weren't there. But there is a bright side to this, and I'll tell you that right now. So my mom and I, we had a talk before she went to bed, and I'm going to try and say this in a certain order, okay? You know what? I gotta be honest. After last year's Halloween party, which I had a much more fun time than this year's party, I told my mom, hey, you know what? I kind of missed going to parties with you, like I did in the old days, like, you know, over 10 years ago. Yeah, because over 10 years ago, I used to go to parties with my mom, you know, at her friend's house. And then eventually, when I became a teenager, I kind of stopped going. You know, I guess because I just wanted to stay at the house. And sometimes the parties that I went to a long time ago, I got kind of bored there because I didn't have my own cell phone. You know, unlike now. You know, that's the thing now. When you're bored, you just get on your phone. You know, that's the thing. But I didn't have a phone. Well, I had a DS Lite. I think one time I brought my DS Lite at someone's party. I think we were playing like co-op, Mario Kart, or New Super Mario Bros. DS or something like that. Those were fun times. Those were fun times. But yeah, I eventually stopped going to parties in general with my mom. The only parties that I would go to is right here in this house. But after last year's Halloween party, I said to my mom, hey, I kind of missed going to parties with you. You know, like we did a long time ago. So yeah, there was like a time where I didn't go to anyone's party for like 10 years straight. Well, maybe not quite 10 years straight. But I remember Caden, who doesn't come to this party. He had his birthday party in 2023. So that was like the first party that I went to in, oh my gosh, probably 8 years. Yeah, I know. I went. I wanted to go. And I remember it was in August of 2023. And that was the hottest month ever. It was the hottest summer ever in 2023. And you can look this up on Weather Underground, you know, the weather from the past. It was so hot that our air condition wasn't working. Alright, I just deleted my laptop storage was running low, so I just deleted some old KSN files, video files. Yeah, I somehow didn't delete them because that takes a lot of storage too. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, I went to Caden's birthday party in 2023 because it was that summer was so hot that our air condition was barely working. That's how hot it was. Like as soon as you step out of the house, you start sweating. It's like you're going into an oven, you know? It's too hot. So I went. The main reason why I went was because his birthday party was swimming, and I figured, all right, I'm gonna finally go to someone's party. Let's get out of this hot house because it was way too hot in the house. So yeah. I gotta be honest though. It was a nice place. It wasn't at their house. It was at like a community pool. Okay. And I went swimming. I went in the pool. It was a nice big community pool. But I hate to say this, I got bored because there wasn't a lot of familiar faces there. You know, I stayed in the pool for like 2 hours straight, and like there was like no one that I knew that was there. Well, in the pool. Yeah, a lot of them they just stayed inside, you know. Oh well. So, after last year's Halloween party, I said to my mom, "Hey, I kind of missed going to parties. So just let me know if you know, if anyone's having a big party. Let me know." So, I went to some. How many did I go? I'm gonna count how many parties I went to from last year's Halloween party to this year's Halloween party, alright? So I went to one in December 1st of last year. It was actually Leilani's birthday, her 6th birthday. I didn't record there. I went to someone's New Year's Eve party. I recorded some of that. Okay. Yeah, on New Year's Eve, I usually stay here at this house. But for like a long time ago, over 10 years ago, I used to go to someone's New Year's Eve party. But then they stopped having it, so we just decided to just chill at this house for New Year's. And they say it's kind of dangerous to go out during New Year's. But I went to someone's New Year's Eve party. Alright. His name is Jeremy. He's the guy that I don't know if I showed you. I don't know if I showed any of this on the Halloween party movie. Okay, here's the thing. I'm recording this on Sunday, October 26th, so I don't know when I'll release this as public or unlisted. I don't know if I should I wait until after the Halloween party movie? I guess I should. I don't know, but anyways. Jeremy, he dressed up as a police. Yeah, that guy. Last year he dressed up as a country western. The year before he dressed up as Chucky. Yeah, I know for sure I showed his costume last year's and the year before. That guy, he had a New Year's Eve party last year, so I don't know if he'll have another one this year. If he does, I guess I'll go back to that one. The third party that I went to was February 1st, which was part of the 2000 video extravaganza. And if you look, excuse me, I gotta clean my nose. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So, the third party that I went to, February 1st, part of the almost said 3000 video, the 2000 video extravaganza. That was, if you look into the description of that giant video, I think it's called Hanging Out with Kids or something like that. And this was the party where we were at on a big field. Yeah, big field, and I would call it real life farming simulator because there's some farming machinery there. There was a tractor. And that was where I saw Cassie and her little sister Sophia and Leilani. Mason was also there. Okay. Yeah. So if they have that again next year, I'll go to that. Because I had a pretty fun time. I had a fun time at that party. So that was the third one I went to. The fourth party that I went to was, I'm trying to remember. It was in March, I think. It was in March. I forgot the exact date, but that was the video called "Spring Party with Kids" or something like that, and the thumbnail was Cassie with her evil-looking face. Yeah, I got to see her again. Okay. Oh, and Micah was there as well. Yeah, that was the fourth party that I went to. That was, I think it was in mid-March. I don't remember exactly. The fifth party that I went to was in, I believe it was in May. Like early to mid-May, I want to say. Hold on, let me think. I'm trying to think if I missed any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the fifth party that I went to in the month of May. And this was, T-Bone, if you're still listening to this was at Ella's father's house, okay? Yeah, because I'm familiar with people's faces. You know, they didn't come to this year's party, but they were at last year's. And the thing is, her father's house, he lives pretty close to where I live. So, yeah, he didn't come. He didn't come to this year's Halloween party. You know what? Maybe the reason why... There's probably multiple reasons why people didn't come. One of them is probably because of the it was wet outside. Alright? Or, sometimes people get invited into multiple parties. You know, I mentioned my former French teacher, Miss Leclerc. He said he had 2 other parties to go to after he first stopped by here. Yeah. So that's why I said maybe we should permanently have this party on Friday. I don't know. But yeah, the fifth party that I went to was at Ella's father's house. Ella was not there, but her little brother was there. I forgot his name, but her little brother he was 10, so he's 11 right now, because I remember he said how old he was at last year's Halloween party. I forgot his name, but he was there. Oh, I did record. It wasn't much, but I never released it. I never released that video, so that was an unreleased video at a party. But yeah, they live pretty close. I don't know why Ella wasn't there. But you know what? Again, like I said, her parents are separated, so maybe she was with her mom. Okay? That's the thing, you know, Eileen's parents are separated too, you know. So, yeah. So yeah, that was the fifth party that I went to. The sixth party that I went to was in early June, I think. And I believe the video was called Sunday Fun Day Vlog or something like that. Sunday Fun Day. Okay. And this is the one where Sophia was trying to come after me. Cassie's little sister. Yeah, that's her. It was at a recreation center, which is kind of like, you know, it's basically like a basketball court. But the problem was that it was so hot in there. The air condition wasn't working. I mean, isn't that ridiculous? Yeah. The AC wasn't working. So, yeah. It was so hot in there. Oh, and yeah, Cassie was there. When she saw me, you know what the first thing she said to me? She said, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, oh my gosh. You know what? Yeah. Let me see here. So that was the 6th party that I went to. And the 7th and last party that I went to was Mason's birthday party. And that was on a Tuesday. All the other parties, except for the New Year's Eve party, was on either Saturday or Sunday. Mason's birthday party was on a Tuesday. And the reason why it was on a Tuesday is because a lot of my mom's friends, their off day is Tuesday. And I had work that day. So, but luckily, I was able to take off early. And I went to the trampoline place. And that was the big video. Mason's 10th birthday party vlog. Okay. So, that was in early August. That was like a few days before back to school. Yeah, that was a few days before back to school. So yeah, that was the last party that I went to, and then the parties here, we had a swimming party in I want to say late June, and we had a second one in September the 6th. And then after that was the big Halloween party. Okay, so that's a total of 10 parties since last year's Halloween party. So I'm wondering, those parties that I went to, those 7 parties that I went to, I wonder if they're going to have them again. So the first party that I went to after last year's Halloween party was Leilani's birthday party. So I'm wondering if they're going to have that again. So out of the 7 parties, which one, I know I'm really weird for saying this, which one was the most fun and which one was the least fun? So let's go back. Let's go talk about all 7 of those parties. So Leilani's party, it was at her parents' house. It was really crowded, and there wasn't that many people that I know. So I did not have fun at that party. It was kind of me mainly just sitting down. You know, it was kind of loud in there too. So I might not go to that. If they have that again this year, I might not go to that. The New Year's Eve party, that was more fun, because there was more familiar faces. Okay. Yeah. The main reason why I wanted to go to these parties is because I want to see the people more often, instead of just waiting until next year's Halloween party, another 365 days, you know. Yeah, I wanted to see them, you know, because I usually get along well, you know. The New Year's Eve party, the first time I went out on New Year's Eve in over 10 years, and it went well. The trip on the way there, the trip on the way back, not bad. However, we didn't stay until midnight. Yeah. We didn't stay until midnight. We went back. We came home about I don't know, 45 minutes before midnight, just so we could say Happy New Year. And remember, I did that American Truck Simulator stream on New Year's Eve night, and I'll probably do that again. And I'm wondering, yeah, because I wanted to show some of the children that game, because they're going to be driving in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So I was sort of hoping that the state of Louisiana would come out before the Halloween party, but it hasn't came out yet, the DLC. But that is the next state coming out, Louisiana. And my prediction, they haven't scheduled a release date yet, but my prediction is that that will come out during the winter season. Yeah. So, who knows? It might come out sooner. It might come out in November, you know? So, I'm hoping that the state of Louisiana would come out before the Christmas holidays, so I can do, the Louisiana cruising event and the Christmas reflections event. I did that in 2022 for Texas. The Texas DLC came out in November of 2022, and I did the cruising Texas event as well as the Christmas event. All right. But that's my prediction. I think it'll come out during the winter season, hopefully before the end of this year. I think it will. I'm kind of confident. But, man, I'm really looking forward to that. So. Okay, so, New Year's Eve party was pretty cool. That's why I recorded at that party. Leilani's birthday party, I didn't record that because it wasn't really much fun for me, honestly. So, yeah, New Year's Eve party was quite special. So after that, February 1st, part of I almost said 3,000 again. Part of the 2,000 video extravaganza. I guess, yeah, that was a pretty fun party too, because we were out on a big field. We get to run around like it's recess, school recess. That was fun. It wasn't raining, and it was really warm that day. Yeah, it felt like spring already. Like, what the heck? So, yeah. That was a pretty fun party. I was chasing Cassie around. That was funny. After that, it was the spring party vlog, which also featured Cassie. That one was not as fun. That one, there wasn't really much to do, it was kind of like Leilani's party, except the house was bigger. The house had like a little outdoor swimming pool. Oh yeah, remember those shorts I did of the piñata? Yeah, it was that party. It was that party, okay? So, after that, it was at Ella's father's house, even though she wasn't there. I did record there, like I said, but I never released it, so it's an unreleased video. That party was also okay. There wasn't really much to do or see. Oh, Maury was there. Mauricio, the Italian guy, the bald-headed guy, he was there. But yeah, not many familiar faces were there. There were some. And then after that was the recreation center, where it was so hot in there because of the air condition not working. That was pretty fun because there was a lot of like toys, balls to play with. You know, like there was football, some what do you call it, dodgeballs. But yeah, that video, the Sunday Fun Day vlog, it was at that place. That was pretty fun. And after that, did I mention all of them? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, and the last one, Mason's birthday party. So I'd say the least amount of fun I had out of all the parties, I'm gonna say it was Leilani's birthday party, which was the first party that I went to after the Halloween party. The most fun party, I think it was Mason's birthday party, the last party that I went to at the trampoline place. I had a fun time there. But yeah, I went to those parties just to see who was there from the Halloween party. And the another reason why I wanted to go to these parties was to see if Eiley was there, and unfortunately she wasn't at any of those parties. Yeah, I really like her. She is funny and entertaining. You know, we always have a fun time. She could not wait to get her hands on my old laptop, and she just smashed it. And when she slammed it by the pool with the ladies in there, she turned around and she was looking at me smiling like, I did it. Oh, yeah. Man, I really wish she was there. I really wish she was at this party just so I could show her my favorite game, you know? But there is a bright side to this, so I'm going to tell you what that is. My mom and I, we had a conversation before she went to bed, and we have some big upcoming plans for the next couple of months, okay? And I'm going to tell you what those upcoming plans are in order. So, last year in December, every year, okay, every year there's a big party in the month of December for the holidays. It's a Christmas party, okay? It's called the Filipino American Christmas Party. And I used to go to that party a long time ago. Because remember, I used to go to parties with my mom while I was growing up until I kind of became a teenager, and then I kind of stopped going. All right? So, I really wanted to go to last year's Christmas party. Because remember, I said after last year's Halloween party, I want to start going to these parties again with my mom. But unfortunately, I missed the Christmas party last year, and I'll tell you why. I was out of town. my parents and I, we were out of town that weekend. We had to go to Shreveport, which is in northwest Louisiana, okay? And the reason why we went there was because my brother got married. Yeah. And I got disappointed because I really wanted to go to this Christmas party. I mean, no disrespect to my brother. Congratulations on getting married. I wish I could go to both events, you know? Both parties. So... I did not record at his wedding. I didn't want to record at his wedding out of respect. But we took pictures. Maybe I can, I don't know, show y'all that privately. I don't know if y'all are interested. Me want to see what I look like in a full suit. You know? So... yeah, his wedding was on the same weekend, the same night as the Christmas party. His wedding was kind of crazy. I mean, they put a lot of work into this wedding. Meaning they spend a lot of money. They did. But yeah, at the same time, I got disappointed because I really wanted to go to this Christmas party. And I really could have gone to the 2023 Christmas party, but I didn't. I really should have, though, but I didn't. So, you know, I really wanted to go to last year's, but I couldn't because I was out of town. And I gotta be. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. I would have had a lot more fun. I would have had a lot more fun, a much more fun time at the Christmas party than at my brother's wedding. And I know that sounds kind of mean, with all due respect to my brother. It's because there's a lot more familiar faces at the Christmas party than his wedding. I don't know a lot of his friends and his close ones, you know. His wife, I don't really know any of her family and her friends, you know, so you know, I'm not familiar with those people's, you know, faces and all that. But his wedding was kind of crazy. But hey, when you get married, you know, you and your partner can have your wedding the way y'all want it. The way y'all want to have it, so they chose to have it their way. So you gotta respect that, you know. I just wish his wedding or the Christmas party was on a separate weekend, or not on the same weekend, but they were on the same weekend. But again, I would have had a lot more fun time at the Christmas party than his wedding. I know that sounds mean. Some of my mom's friends, they do those Facebook live streams. So I was checking to see if anyone was live streaming. See, the thing about them is they always do vertical streams. I'm not really a fan of vertical streams. I like the horizontal full screen mode. I don't know if that's an option that you can do on Facebook or YouTube. Listen, I don't really do streams from my phone because the quality is not that great. That's why I usually use my real camera, the high quality one, alright? So, yeah, some of them recorded. It wasn't much though, but I saw that Eiley was there. Yeah. The Christmas child was there. Remember, her birthday's on Christmas Eve. Yeah. So So that party is now coming up, and I talked to my mom. I asked her, hey, are they going to have that Christmas party? The big Christmas party? And she said, yes, but she and my father are going out downtown that same night, which I don't know what date. Okay, last year's Christmas party was on the same date as my brother's wedding, and that was on December the 14th, so I assume that it's going to be on December the 13th. So yeah, sounds like my mom can't go, but I can still go. Yeah, I can still go, because I have my own car, you know? Or I can ride with one of my mom's friends and her son, Sherwin. Okay? Yeah, I really want to go to that, because that's usually, to me, that's the biggest party of the year in terms of the amount of people that are there. It's at a gymnasium. So yeah, I really want to go there. So if I really go there and my mom's not there, everyone's gonna ask me, "Where's your mom? Where's your mom?" You know? Yeah. But yeah, it's been over 10 years since I last gone to that party. But yeah, I really want to go to see the people there. And yes, I will record there. Meaning there's a great chance I can see Eiley. I hope she's there. Okay? Remember that last time I saw her after she destroyed my laptop, she asked me, "Why do you record? What got you interested?" And I was like, "Uh-oh, okay." Oh yeah, Eiley's friends were there. From the swimming party, they were there at the Halloween party. Yeah. So, at least I can go to the Christmas party, but my mom can't go. Yeah. I'll have to confirm that with her. But I really want to go to that party, because I really could have gone in 2023, but I didn't. I don't want to miss this 3 years in a row, you know? And you know what? The channel update video, okay? The channel update video that I was talking about, I was talking about that I have this old external hard drive with a bunch of with a bunch of old photos and old videos of me. And there's actually some unreleased Christmas party videos, so I'll have to release those. Might as well, right? We're approaching the holiday season. Again, I know. So, yeah. So that's that. I'll have to see if any of these parties that I went to, I'll have to see if they're going to have them again. I don't know if I'll go to all of them again. But here's the thing. I really want to see Eiley, because Eiley, she's really my #1 favorite. She is. She is my #1 favorite. And when I saw her at the sushi restaurant, the video titled "A Conversation with Eiley and Mason," my mom told me about that, hey, she's gonna go out to eat with her friends. And you know, this was in late July, so it wasn't back to school quite yet. So I told her, if you see Eiley, please let me know so I can come by and see her. And she said, all right, and she let me know. She was there. Too bad she wasn't at any of the parties that I went to, because I really was hoping she was at some of the parties that I went to. But yeah, I'll only go. I would like to go if she's there, you know. because it's more fun when she's there. She's like the biggest star. Like I said, the biggest star of last year's Halloween party. Maybe that's why she's the Christmas child, you know? I don't know. And in the summer, back in the summer, my mom, she actually went out with her friends to Pensacola Beach, Florida, which I have been to before. I didn't go, but I really should have. Now, this was on a Monday and a Tuesday, and I work on Monday and Tuesdays, but I can take those days off, because I don't take days off a lot. But I didn't go, because I wanted to know who was going to be there, and she just said, oh, it's only going to be Sherwin, and Sherwin, he can't talk, you know, because he's deaf. Well, it turns out that Micah was there, and Eiley was also there. So when I found out that they were there, I got disappointed. I was like, damn, man, I didn't get to go. I should have gone to that. But I got to see the pictures. But I really should have gone to that. Because that probably would have been the most fun day of the year. Even though I'm not really a fan of summer because it's so hot, but that's the best part about summer, is swimming and going to the beach. But other than that, too hot to do walking, you know, or something like that. That's why I prefer the winter, because it's not hot where I live. If you live up north, you're going to say the opposite. Sometimes you're probably sick of the winter if you live up north, because it's too damn cold and you get a lot of snow. You know, it's the opposite. But yeah, I really should have gone there. I wish I did. But oh well, I didn't know. I wish I knew. I think they'll do this again next year, and I'll go for sure. Because it's been 6 years since I've last gone to Pensacola Beach, Florida. So next year will be 7 years. 2019 was the last time I went to the beach, and it was also the last vacation. Because, you know, 2020 was the COVID year. 2021 was also another COVID year, and in 2022 things kind of got back to normal, but we spend a lot of money on house appliances, so we couldn't really go on vacation. But if they do that next year, I'll definitely go. Especially if Eiley's going. But what if I'm told that, oh, Eiley's not going to go to the beach next year? Will I still go? I probably would still go, just because it's been years since I last went. But again, it's 10 times more fun when she's there, because I find her, you know, funny and entertaining. That's why she's my #1 favorite. Yeah. And every time we see each other, we always have a fun time. Because I would rewatch the videos that we were in, and I was like, wow, we had a fun time, didn't we? We had a fun time. So, I guess I'll go to the Christmas party. I hope she's there. After that, so that's like the big plan. The next big plan is, here is something that's pretty exciting. Okay, this is some pretty exciting news that I'm about to share, and that is in February of next year, we are going to have this is what my mom told me, so I got kind of excited. We're going to have a Winter Olympics party. Yeah, Y'all remember last year we had the Summer Olympics party? Next year in February, we are going to have a Winter Olympics party. And here's the really exciting part. Here's the really exciting part. This is what my mom told me, and that is some of her friends and children are going to have a sleepover here at this house. And I'm like, wow, so y'all are really going to do that? Well, we'll have to talk more about that. So that's in a couple of months. Alright? And if that really happens, then I really hope I would like to have Eiley having a sleepover here. That would be really fun. If she can spend the night here, we can do videos together. We can play American Truck Simulator. We can play Mario Party. She can show me how to do the infinite lives trick. Remember, she told me about that in 2023. I want her to see. I want her to show me how to do that. Yeah, I also brought my TV and my Wii U to the little living room next to the dining room. But because she wasn't there, we weren't able to see it. Yeah. But yeah, if she can have a sleepover here, that would be a dream come true. Because that's something that I would like to have. But it has to be on the weekend because it's February, all right? Unless if Mardi Gras is on unless Mardi Gras is on February. Mardi Gras is it's only a Louisiana holiday. Because back when I was in school, I would get a 4-day weekend, or maybe 5 days. But Mardi Gras is on a Tuesday, and I would have no school on that Monday and Tuesday. I don't know about Wednesday. I think Wednesday as well. So yeah, 3 days of no school, plus the weekend, so that's 5 total. So if Mardi Gras is on a February, which it usually is, maybe we can do it during, I don't know, a Monday or Tuesday night. Let's look that up right now. I think Mardi Gras was on March this year. Yeah, when Mardi Gras is on March, that means Easter is later in April. I don't know how they determine the dates of Mardi Gras and Easter, but it's some type of weird formula that they use. Sometimes Easter's in March, sometimes it's in April. Yeah. So let's see. I know Easter this year was on April 20th, 4/20, which is kind of a late date for Easter. So that means Mardi Gras was in March this year. So let's look up Mardi Gras 2026. It's going to be on Tuesday, February 17th. So mid-February. And the Winter Olympics begins on... Oops, I'm checking my calendar here. Opening ceremony is going to be on February 6th, I believe. But the weird thing is that the Super Bowl is during the middle of the Winter Olympics, which I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that the the Super Bowl is during the Winter Olympics, because it used to not be like that. They would have the Winter Olympics after the Super Bowl. I wish it's still like that, but no. That must be like a... That must be like an NBC thing, because next year NBC will be hosting the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics. So, yeah. It's going to be on February 17th. We could probably do it on Mardi Gras week. But I gotta talk to my mom about that, so... If not, then it'll have to be on a Saturday. But, yeah. Let me tell you this. The last time someone had a sleepover at this house was the 2016 Halloween party. And who spent the night? It was Preston, Dylan's fraternal twin. Yeah, he had a sleepover. He had a sleepover. Even though he lives across the street, so he could have just walked back to his grandparents' house, but no. He decided to have a sleepover with me. But yeah, that was the last time. That was the last time someone slept over here. But that'll be exciting if that really happens. Like I said, I'll have to talk to my mom about this. Yeah. But yeah, I really want to go to that Christmas party just so I can see Eiley, the Christmas child, and everyone else. And I'll have to, maybe I can talk to her about this. Too bad my mom can't be there though. But that would be great if she can have a sleepover here. We can do a live stream, maybe a Q&A or whatever. That would be fun. That would be fun. So those are the... So that's the bright side after this Halloween party. Because this Halloween party was... It was somewhat of a disappointment because quite a bit of people didn't come. It was raining. It was wet. So last year's was much better. I mean, it is what it is. But at least I got to show them American Truck Simulator. Something I didn't do last year. So, I guess I'll do that every year. Why not? Every year from now on. Oh my goodness. When they have this sleepover, I'm pretty sure the state of Louisiana would be out by then. I'm gonna show them, hey, let's see what New Orleans looks like in the game. You know, that would be fun. That would be great. So, yeah. There you have it. That's my story. Yeah, over 2 hours. Over 2 hours. I just don't know when should I put this out as public or unlisted. Most likely unlisted. This is really mainly for you, T-Bone, because you're really curious. You like to ask these questions, so I hope your questions have been answered. Yeah. Maybe I'll see Ella at the Christmas party. I don't know. If I do, I'll try to say hello to her. anyways, that's basically it. So the sun's kind of going down. It's now 5:19 p.m. I've been sitting out here for over 2 hours. Yeah. Man, I know. Would have been better if the party was tonight, but nope. Sunday. We can't do Sunday night. That's a school night, a work night. Maybe Friday night would be better. After this, after I stop this record, I'm gonna do a voice message to Missy LeClaire, my former French teacher, and thank him, because he brought some surprises. How nice of him. Yeah, he's really cool. So, anything else I want to say? No, not really. I was hoping Brad would play Truck Simulator, but I guess he had to leave. Yeah, Brad, he missed he didn't come to last year's and the year before. So, yeah. So I'd say the 2024 Halloween party was the best edition ever, in my opinion. Even though it was the hottest edition ever. Could have jumped in, but yeah. So hopefully it won't rain at the Christmas party. Now this Christmas party is indoors. So I think a lot of people will still be there no matter what the weather is, because it's indoors. Unlike this party, it's indoors and outdoors, because outdoor decorations, indoor decorations. So, yeah. So all these parties that I went to, I might go to them again if they're having them. Who knows? Alright guys, now I'm hungry, so I did not eat anything at all, so this is a great time for me to stop this. It's like a podcast. Eric's Top News, or whatever. Not Keith's Sports News. Yeah. Oh, when I showed the this just popped in my mind. When I showed some of the children American Truck Simulator, I actually did a live stream, but it wasn't public. It was private. The reason why it was private was because I had my old bedroom TV next to my gaming PC, right? And I was, because you know, I have YouTube on my TV, right? And I put my private stream on my TV. So, meaning there's two screens showing the same thing. The difference is that when you're live, there's like a 3 to 5 second delay. But other than that, it worked out well. But I also did a regular recording as well. Yes, you can live stream and record at the same time. And I never knew that until I just tried it out and it worked out. So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to do it live publicly because, you know, people would comment on the chat, and I didn't really want to do it public. I'm hoping we can have like a Christmas get-together like we did 2 years ago. Remember 2 years ago, that was when Mason, Caden, and Eiley, they destroyed a keyboard? Yeah, that was on a Tuesday afternoon. Because remember, Tuesday is the day where most of my mom's friends are not working. And somehow they were there. Last year's, their Christmas get-together was at someone else's house. And I knew about it, I didn't go to it because I had work, but I wish I did because Eiley was there. Yeah. So, if we do a Christmas get-together here, then I will definitely show them American Truck Simulator. Maybe it'll be a public stream. I don't know. If not, it'll be a premiere. Better than nothing, right? So anyways, that's it. Oh. Yeah, our neighbor, like I said earlier a while back, our neighbor did not have their party the same night. I don't know if they had theirs last weekend, or maybe they'll wait until Friday, October 31st, or maybe somehow Saturday, November the 1st. Maybe they pushed it back because of the rain. I don't know. But yeah, my former French teacher, he had to go to 2 other parties, and he lives in Lafayette. Lafayette is kind of a far distance. And, yeah. So I'm going to thank him after I stop this recording. So anyways, that's it. I hope I said everything that I wanted to say. I wanted to, break this down into details. So, hope y'all still enjoyed the big Halloween party movie. And channel update video will be pretty soon. I don't know when exactly. I do have some big plans this month though, because November is in between Halloween month and Christmas month. Okay, yes, November's Thanksgiving month, but I don't really do Thanksgiving videos. Okay, because when you think of Thanksgiving, you're thinking about a big feast, Yep. Alright, so yeah, the party was somewhat of a disappointment, but on the bright side, I can go to the Christmas party, and that Winter Olympics party we're going to be having will be pretty exciting. So yeah. Alright guys, I think that's it, so if you listened to this whole thing, thank you very much. And that's it. What if I somehow play this as like a radio for American Truck Simulator? Maybe I should. For a live stream, maybe, or maybe a premiere. Well, if it's a premiere, that'll take more time because I have to. This is 2 hours and 25 minutes. Got to record another 2 hours of 25 minutes of me playing American Truck Simulator, and then upload that video. But if I do live streaming, that means you're live. You're saving time, because after you end the stream, you can rewatch the stream as an archive. Meaning, basically it's already automatically uploaded. The thing is, YouTube would have to process some of the video, so they can detect if there's any copyright music. Oh yeah, speaking of copyright music, yes, there's always music playing at this party, so it's hard to avoid copyright claims. It is what it is. So yeah, because the second half of the party, they like to dance and all that. that's them. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it for real. Thank you very much, and have a good night. Talk to you guys next time.
Okay, guys, can y'all hear me? If you can. Yep, that was the 2 hours and 26 minute recording that I just played of me talking about the Halloween party and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm glad I played it, which means I enjoyed listening to myself talking, which I normally don't do, you know, whenever I'm, you know, listening while playing. You know, I don't really listen to me talk, you know, I listen to other people talk, and that means I don't really listen to my sports talk channel podcast. Yeah, like once I'm done recording that episode, I just move on. Upload it, move on. I don't really listen to what I don't really listen to what I said. But I mainly listen to a lot of sports talk podcasts, because that's my thing. I have SiriusXM. I pay for that. Want to get my money's worth. And I'm on it like almost every day. Yeah. And I really like it. So sometimes during the streams of this game, I would play some of my favorite podcasts or live radio or whatever. Or sometimes music, non-copyright music, to make it, you know, entertaining. At least for me, you know, I find it entertaining, you know. Just like when you're going on a road trip, you know, this is like a road trip. The only difference is that I'm doing a delivery. So, if you're wondering what delivery I am doing, it is a heavy load. It's a all-terrain crane. We're going to Wenatchee. Never heard of that town. I guess it's in Washington State. And so far, this delivery has gone quite well. Not many fails, hardly any fails, hardly any fines. So if I complete this delivery without getting any more fines, and I should get an excellent rating, and I'll get over 214,000 income. And if that's the case, if I do get all of that income, then I will be at over $300,000. So yeah. Yep, I purposely chose this delivery because it's a lot of income. It's a long delivery. Because, you know, oh, I barely hit that. Luckily, I didn't damage my trailer. Yeah, because, you know, I was listening to that nearly 2.5 hour talk. So I'm like, why not just do one long delivery, and we'll see if I'm, by the time that talk ended, that recording ended, I wanted to see if I'm still doing this delivery or not. And yep, I'm still going. I got about a little over 5.5 hours game time left. And look at this map. Let me pull up the big map. I don't know if any of y'all remember this. I am in Oregon, the state of Oregon. I'm on Interstate 84, and this is the one that has a bunch of these curves. I mean, look at all these curves. You see all this? And then we're going to be approaching this split. Look at that. That's real. They have this in real life too, because I once looked on Google Maps and they really have this. So big shout out to the SCS software. We're going to experience this with this oversized load. Should I stay on the... I'm on the fast lane. Speed limit's 65, so I guess I'll go to the fast lane, or the slow lane, excuse me. But look at this. Look at this machinery. I normally don't do oversized load deliveries like this one. I normally don't do oversized load deliveries because, you know, your truck is not gonna go as fast, especially if it's an oversized load, you know. But it's been going quite well though. I remember the very first long delivery I did in this series was back in episode 6, which was nearly a 3-hour video. It wasn't a live stream, it was a regular video, which means I premiered it. And, excuse me. And, first time I was playing my favorite non-copyright soundtracks. And unfortunately, no one was commenting on the chat. Yeah, there was a time where hardly anyone tuned in. Back then, in the fall season of 2021, hardly anyone tuned in to the premieres and the streams. So after a while, I stopped premiering videos. Yeah, I stopped premiering videos because no one was tuning in. Gotta go to another weigh station. Look at that. Look how much this weighs. Almost 120,000 pounds. That is insane. But yeah, you probably heard this story before of episode 6. The first very long delivery. The video file was actually 55 gigabytes, and this was back when I was using GeForce Experience. Now it's not called GeForce Experience anymore. It's now called I forgot the name. It starts with an N. Okay, let's see. Making sure. Okay, see, look, here we are. You see this? Look at this split. Look at that. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. I'm sorry. It's hard not to look at the scenery. Look at that. Some mountains. They have this in real life too. Runaway truck ramp, and you saw that sign, that other sign. It's like we're doing a loop. Speed limit 65. Watch for slow trucks. Runaway truck ramp. Look at this. With the oversized load. Let me open up my other mirror. Okay. Oh, jeez. I was looking at my left mirror. Not bad, not bad. Not bad so far. And we are approaching the end of this crazy zigzag interstate. Section, whatever you call it. The loops or the curves. Good thing there's not too much traffic. I mentioned Alec in that talk He's actually been to Oregon before. His older brother, he went to Oregon for college. It's funny how he went to Oregon, but Alec, he went to Virginia Tech. Coast to coast, opposite sides of the country. So, yeah. I will be seeing Alec on Sunday. Yeah. I will be seeing him on Sunday. So that'll be exciting. I want to show him Euro Truck Simulator 2. He was actually my first friend to play American Truck Simulator. Yes. You can go look on that playlist. We did a couple of episodes together. It was mainly him playing. And yeah, he was my first friend that I showed American Truck Simulator. And he will be my first friend to show Euro Truck Simulator 2. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick a delivery. I'm going to pick a delivery for him in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, because that's the country where you drive on the opposite side of the road. I wonder if he's been to London. I know he's been to France. His father's originally from Canada, and he's one of those Canadian French speakers. So I don't know if he's from Montreal, Quebec, but a lot of people that live in Montreal speak French. So yeah, I will be seeing him. So yeah, that'll be great. He normally doesn't come for Thanksgiving week. He normally comes for Christmas and New Year, so I don't know if he's going to come back for that, or if he's only going to come for Thanksgiving week. I'll have to ask him. Yeah, the last time I saw him was on Memorial Day, so that was... Wow, that's almost 6 months ago already. Can you believe that? Oh, look at this. I'm approaching a bridge. What's the name of this bridge? I've been on this bridge before. Well, not in real life, but in the game. How do I know that? Because the roads of the map are highlighted. Oh, it's this bridge. That's kind of weird. One bridge is fancier than the other. Man, speaking of bridges, do y'all remember... Oh, another way station? This is like the 5th way station that I have to stop. There was one way station where I didn't have to go with this oversized load. Does anyone remember that very sad morning was it in Baltimore, Maryland, where this bridge collapsed? Yeah, that is just nuts. Yeah. That was last year's, I believe. Alright, so I'm going to finish this delivery, and thankfully I didn't fall asleep. But yeah, I am tired. It's 1:39 a.m. I normally don't... I'm normally not live at this hour, but... better than nothing. I'm glad the game is working. The game has been working really well. No lags, no freezing, no jumpy music, sound effects, none of that crap. We didn't get to see any of that. We didn't get to experience that in the stream. So I guess OBS was really the problem. It wasn't the game. It was OBS. I don't know why. OBS cannot get along with this game. So, thankfully, I remembered another software for live streaming and recording is Streamlabs, and it's working really nice. And I can already say I already like Streamlabs more than OBS. Yeah. I think OBS is the old version of Streamlabs, so I don't know. Maybe I'll permanently switch to Streamlabs. Yeah, because I remember I mentioned in the early years of this game, I was using GE Force Experience, and then there was a time where GE Force Experience wouldn't work for me. So I permanently switched to OBS. But maybe I'll permanently switch to Streamlabs. But I got the new version of GE Force Experience to work, but for whatever reason I can't live stream from that software. I can only do a regular recording. But at least the regular recording works. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to live stream this game again. I was really hoping that I can somehow finish their new Halloween event, but that expired last Sunday. So yeah, that was the first time where I started doing a World of Trucks event that I wasn't able to finish. Because you get like a whole month. You get like a whole month to do these events. But I did half of it. At least I got to see some of it, and at least I got to show the game to some minors for the first time at that Halloween party. It was mainly Mason. He was the first kid that I showed him this game. And he was failing like crazy, if you saw that episode. Damaging my truck, and yeah. Eventually you have to pay the price, and that's what I did. Go into that truck service and maintenance and repairs. Yeah, that cost money. But maybe next time I would like to show him Beam NG Drive. And Caden too, because Caden, he's actually into cars, so that's cool. I'm wondering if he's ever played that game before. Yeah, Beam NG Drive, you can... That's what's well known in that game. That's the thing in that game. Everyone's favorite. Crashing vehicles, damaging them like crazy. And yeah, I did some live streams of that game, and that was fun. I remember that one level, that one mission I did where I had to go... You have to drive down the steep rocky hill or mountain or whatever, and it's hard not to damage your vehicle like crazy. I believe that was the last stream of that game I did back in the summer. And then I stopped because I wanted to move on to other stuff. Oh geez, I hit that fellow trucker. My apologies. But somehow I did not get fined, so I guess I'm excused because I am hauling this oversized load. Alright, we got about 2 hours left of game time. This might be my best long delivery yet. Is this the longest delivery ever that I've ever done? I don't know, but it's one of them for sure. Oh, look at this bridge. Look how high up that is. Okay, I think we're now in Washington State. And yes, speaking of Washington State, that is the state below Canada. And yes, I saw the notification that in the future they are introducing British Columbia Wow. And that is part of Canada. So does this mean we're finally going to get Canadian Truck Simulator in the future? And no, I haven't read any of the articles that I missed on Steam. I'll have to do that next time. I don't know when I'll go live again for this game. I say that because I do have an announcement. I'm not going to say it now or during this stream. I want to save that for either a video or a post. But I'm going to be doing... It's mainly for next week. My special announcement is mainly for next week, which is Thanksgiving week. So probably after Thanksgiving week I can live stream this game again. So I guess that'll be early December. And yeah, every year this game has a Christmas Reflections event. Or I think it's now called the Christmas Winterland event, as it was last year's. And I think they're going to have that again. I assume they will. And yep, I usually do that every year. And I'm hoping the state of Louisiana will come out before Christmas, and that is a possibility. That is a possibility. Alright. So yeah, old school, no webcam, no mods. We're back to the early episodes. Type field, my default red truck. Yeah, at least I didn't have to do a new profile. I don't know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that when the state of Louisiana comes out, starting over. I don't know. Well, I did say that I want to move my headquarters to South Louisiana because that's where I live. So that's going to be exciting for me. I mean, that would be awesome. Me doing the Louisiana cruising event and the Christmas Reflections event. I mean, that would be awesome. But yeah, no mods. This is what the game looks like without the mods. They have their own company names. I remember I saw a sign that says iFlop. Instead of IHOP, it's iFlop. But that one just says restaurant. Oh, that's weird. It didn't give me the turn signal. The green turn signal. Oh, look at this. Oversized load. You normally don't see oversized loads. Although I did one time, or it might have been twice, but I know I at least saw one oversized load. And this was, remember that talk I mentioned that I had to go to my brother's wedding in northwest Louisiana? Yeah. The trip on the way there, I actually saw an oversized load. This was on, I believe it was it on Interstate 55? Going northbound? I think so. No, it was another one. It might have been 45. But that goes to Interstate 20, which is in this game. So that's good. Donut Planet. Yeah, these are not real company names. Up, hello, State Trooper. How you doing? Glad this delivery is going well. Has been going well. I'm using the truck, the very first truck that I bought. Oh man, look at that mountain. Alright, T-Bone, sorry for not looking at your messages. I wanted to say what I wanted to say, so now I will look at your messages. You're not going to get enough sleep. Unless if you decide that you're going to skip school on Friday, which is today. Obviously, if I'm not live streaming, you would be sleeping, right? But I guess you're falling asleep. Look at all these trees. Turning into a hunting simulator. Hey, what is this truck doing there? Getting a nice view. Taking a break. Okay, you said, imagine doing this delivery in real life. Oh my gosh. I mentioned this before, I'll say it again. You know, I grew up playing the old truck simulator games, mainly 18 Wheels of Steel, American Long Haul. And I could not wait to play this game, you know, before I got this PC. Yeah, you know, that's the games that I grew up playing. I love them. But that's not something that I wanted to do in real life. I never wanted to become a real life trucker. That's just me, you know. You know, I also grew up playing Hunting Unlimited, mainly 2010. I got addicted to that game, but I never went out hunting. I've never gone hunting in my life. Even though I live in South Louisiana, a lot of people go out hunting and fishing, but I've never done that. Because I'm not interested in doing that, you know. So that's just me, so. So we're going to get on this little highway before we, I hit that sign, before we actually hit our destination. Is this a 46-wheeler? The truck itself has 10 wheels, so let's count. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 34, 38. Okay, it's a 38-wheeler, I think. I'll count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 24, 34. A 34-wheeler, I guess. But yeah, in episode 6 was a 46-wheeler, meaning that cargo was longer. A 46-wheeler. Yeah, that's a Tesla. You know, it's funny, speaking of a Tesla, I actually rewatched that short I did back in January of a Tesla reversing on its own at a Walmart parking lot. Yeah, I rewatched it. Sometimes I rewatch my videos for fun, but not my sports talk podcast. I don't do the same for that channel. Oh wait, did I just miss my turn? What the heck happened? What the heck did I just do? Oh, I got off the exit and then I went on this loop. So, I'm gonna have to, because my destination's right there. So, I know what to do. Just turn at this light. There's no way I can do a U-turn. Well, we could try. We could try a U-turn. I'm doing it. Oh, wait. No. I damaged some of my trailer, unfortunately, but I might still get an excellent. See, look, now I have 19 minutes left instead of doing that 1 hour route. Okay, we're almost there. T-Bone asks, did I like that unlisted short of you saying what's up to you? Yeah, because I've got to hear your voice. Do I want to unpin that message yet? Oh, yeah. I usually forget to unpin the messages, so thanks for letting me know that. Okay, good thing I didn't miss this turn. You're still going to attend school like normal? Okay, but you're gonna be very tired. What time do you wake up? At 6? You're only gonna get 4 hours of sleep. So, all I can say to you is good luck. Hey, is this the first railroad crossing in this delivery? I think it is. What the heck? That's weird. I think that was the very first railroad crossing that I just went through in this long-ass delivery at the very end. I mean, I saw some trains, but they were on, you know, a bridge or on the side of the highway, so that doesn't count. Alright. We only have 2 school days next week due to Thanksgiving. Oh, so just Monday and Tuesday? For me, it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You'll probably take a nap when you get home from school tomorrow? I mean, yeah, you should. Oh, alright, there it is. Am I able to fit? Because I gotta make a wide turn. I don't think I'm gonna do the where do you need it. Look at this, look at this. Oh. Thankfully no one's near me. This is a very, very small area for a load like this. Where should I place it? I guess I can try that. Oh, okay, it's just right here. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can skip it. I might skip it if I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh, well, probably not. Oh, geez, there's a car right there, and I hit it. Of course. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to fit in this box because of the way it is. It'll be a miracle. It'll be a miracle on 34th Street. Nope, it's not gonna do it. Alright, we'll just skip it. I heard train. Excellent! I got an excellent after all. Look at that. Oh, look, I got a Steam delivery, or a Steam award. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if it showed that on stream. Driven distance, 2,165 miles. Time taken, 74 hours and 44 minutes. Fuel consumed, 295.1 gallons. No damage penalty, that's good. I got all my income and I leveled up to level 53. And I am at, yay, just over 400,000. Yeah, I'm trying to make up for all that money I lost. Let's take a look at my, let's see, was that my longest delivery? And my most income? No. That was my 4th longest delivery in terms of time. The most distance, it was the 5th most distance. What about the most income? Was this the most income? It was! It was the most income delivery. Alright, awesome. I made history. I made history. Alright, let's take a look at our managers like I usually do. Okay, that's a new thing. That looks like an eagle. Mother trucker. Oh yeah, I improved. Okay, my truck now has just over 48,000 miles. 5-star condition. Garage manager. Let's see how the economy summary is doing. Okay, yeah, I improved. Because earlier, at the beginning, I think the truck maintenance was at, what, 800,000? That's a lot of money I lost. So I'm trying to regain some of that money back. And... yep, I'm up in Oregon, or Washington State. Thursday, 4 p.m. And now it's Friday, just after 2 a.m. my time. So, yeah. Wow, this stream's almost 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. And I'm glad it went well. Alright. Well, T-Bone, I want to mainly thank you for not only staying the entire time, but also enjoying that talk, that pre-recorded talk that I played of the Halloween party, because I know you were wondering about, you know, such and such, you know, and you saw the Halloween party movie, as well as the last episode of this game, so that's great, so thank you so much. Without you, it wouldn't be as fun. And, yeah, now it's really time for you to go to sleep. Like a trucker. Alright. Okay, I'm glad this stream went well. The very first stream on Streamlabs. This might become a permanent thing. The game went well. Oh, that's weird. I click on quit, and it was not responding for a couple of seconds, but that's okay. Looking for a game to capture. Yeah, Streamlabs is better. I find it better than OBS, at least for live streaming. Alright, yeah, nearly 4 hours. Thank you, MVP. There's a reason why you're #1. So there we go. Yeah, I'll try not to go live this late, but I wanted to go live anyways, because it's, you know, better than nothing. Because I didn't premiere a video or live stream last night, so I didn't want to go back-to-back nights. And plus, tomorrow night, or tonight, I will be going out, so probably not going to be available to do a premiere or a stream. So, yeah. Truckers need to choose their fate. Yeah. Yes, we do. Sleep mode. It's kind of like in Luigi's Mansion when Luigi's out of hearts, he falls asleep. And he noticed how he sleeps in a happy mood. Then Polterpup wakes him up. I guess Polterpup is Luigi's fate, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Alright. Thank you so much. And, yeah. Have a good one. See you next time. I'm glad this game is working now. Yes, we're back. And I'll see you soon. I do have an announcement. I will have to either do a video or a post of that announcement real soon. It'll be a surprise. So